What if the NFL playoffs was not just 14 teams? That's right. What if it was actually all 32 teams and they were in a March Madness bracket? What if that's a possibility? Well, today we're going to explore if that could possibly happen. And we're going to put all 32 teams in a March Madness bracket simulation. I'm showing it on the screen right now. And we are going to simulate all of those games using Madden. So, the first game up would be the 1-seeded Chiefs versus the 16-seeded Jaguars in the AFC. So first up, I'm going to do all of the AFC teams. So like I said, the first game up is the Chiefs versus the Jaguars. Chiefs obviously have home field advantage because they are the 1-seeded over a 16 seed. So it's pretty much like a March Madness bracket with NFL teams. The only thing is that the division winners are 1 through 4, so eventually you'll see Washington is the 4th seed over on the NFC. But other than that, it's pretty much just all down by the standings. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right on into the video and sim to the end of the game. This should be a blowout. Chiefs should probably win this game, but who knows? Jacksonville up 7-0. We're tied 7-7. Chiefs now up 14-7. Now Jags up 14-10. 14-12. Jacksonville up 15. Now it's 22-15. Will we get an upset in the first game? It's 29-22. Can we get a bracket buster? It is 29-25. Chiefs look like they're going to be able to hold on, though, but it's 36-28. And the Chiefs do hold on, 36-28. The Chiefs fan, a lot closer than you wanted it to be, but Jacksonville, even though they are the worst team in the NFL, still came out to compete with the best team in the NFL. Interesting. So the Chiefs move on to the next round, and the next matchup is the 8th-seeded Dolphins versus the 9th-seeded Raiders. Let's see who wins that game. The Dolphins and Raiders, the 8th and 9th-seeded teams. This is one of 2 matchups that will not feature a team that is in the playoffs, or that is not in the playoffs in the first round. The other one will be the 8th and 9th seed over in the NFC. This is a game that the Dolphins, like in the regular season, the Dolphins actually were able to beat the Raiders. Very close game, so this could be interesting on who wins this game. But the Dolphins barely just missed the playoffs, while the Raiders were several games out. So yeah, let's go ahead and sim to the end of the game and see who wins. This is for the right to play the Chiefs as well in the next round. So far, no score. Dolphins on top first, 7-0. Now Raiders come back, tie the game 7-7. Raiders now take a 14-7 lead. Dolphins 14-10. In halftime, it's 14-13. Very close game so far. Raiders trying to pull ahead 17-13. And Dolphins score. So far, no one scored in a while. Dolphins now take a late lead, but now the Raiders take a later lead, 24-20. And the Raiders hold off the Dolphins. And the 9th-seeded Raiders will advance to play the 1-seeded Chiefs in the next round. So the next matchup is the 5-seeded Ravens versus the 12-seeded Broncos. Ravens should be able to win this game easily, but let's see if we do get an upset. We almost got one with Kansas City and Jacksonville, and we did kind of get one with the Ravens and Dolphins. So let's see who wins this game. All right, who gets the first score? Broncos on the board for 7-0. Ravens come back, tie the game 7-7. Now they're up 10-7. Broncos tie the game 10-10. Now Ravens ahead 13-10. At halftime, it'll be 16-10. Ravens starting to pull ahead 24-13. Now Ravens 27-13. Can the Broncos make a late charge? It does not look like it. They get a late score at the end, but it doesn't mean much. Ravens hold on to win 27-20. As we still have not really had a true upset, but it's still early on. Alright, so Bengals versus Titans. This should be a really easy win for the Titans, but Madden likes to keep these games close as we've seen so far. So maybe the Bengals can hang into the end and possibly pull off an upset. We're simming to the end of the game. Bengals get the early lead 7-0. Titans tie the game 7-7. Still tied 7-7. Bengals up 14-7 now. Titans got to get going. They're down 14-10. We're past halftime. They are still trailing 14-13. The Bengals defense doing a great job, but Titans are able to take the lead 16-14. Now Bengals take a 17-16 lead. Now they're up 24-16, and the Bengals pull off a massive upset over the Tennessee Titans. Wow. The Bengals defense came to play, and the Bengals, without Joe Burrow, win 24-16 over the Titans. Wow. So, yeah, the Bengals, that means they're going to play the Ravens in the next round. That's an interesting one. All right, so the Chargers versus the Browns. We just came off an upset with the Bengals knocking off the Titans. I mean, the Chargers really ended out the season really well, so would not be shocked to see them defeat the Browns. Although I feel like Madden really does like the Browns, so I'm thinking that Madden's probably going to pick the Browns to win, but you never know. All right, let's sim ahead to the end of the game. Cleveland on the board first, 7-0. Now they're up 14-0. So far they're blowing them out, but Chargers come back 14-7, 21-7. Cleveland trying to pull in. Now it's 28-7 at halftime. Cleveland blowing the waters out of them as Chargers cannot get anything done offensively. And Cleveland has blown them out 38-15 right now, and I don't think it's going to get closer. Chargers make it slightly closer to make it 38-23, but Cleveland held control of that game the entire time. No upset here. Cleveland moves ahead to the next round and will take on either the Steelers or the Texans in the next round. Let's see who wins that game. The Texans going to try to pull off the upset here on the Steelers. I mean, the way the Steelers ended the season, who knows how Madden thinks they would do in this game, but not like the Texans ended their season any better. So I would expect the Steelers to win this game, but you just never know with Madden. Like I said, they always like to throw a curveball in there, and they did that with the Bengals earlier. The Steelers up 7-0. That's the only score so far in this game as we're nearing halftime already. Very defensive game. We're past halftime. It is 7-0. Texans and Steelers neither can do anything offensively. Fourth quarter, it is still 7-0. Steelers finally are starting to do stuff offensively. 21-7. That was an ugly game for the offense. Steelers and Texans were finally able to do something in the fourth quarter, but neither one of these teams really came ready to play in this game, I don't think. And the Steelers, eventually, talent and a better team is just going to win over at the end of the day. And Steelers have more than that than the Texans do. So that means the Steelers will play the Browns in the next round, a real-life playoff match. The next simulation is the Colts and the Patriots. So the Colts versus the Patriots. I fully expect the Patriots to win this game because, not in real life, but in this Madden simulation, because I feel like Madden really loves the Patriots. Yeah, in real life, the Colts would win this game if this was actually a real thing, but, yeah, in Madden, I expect the Patriots to win. So let's see if I'm wrong, because, Madden does love to pick the Patriots a lot. So, yeah, wow, Indianapolis already out to a 10-0 lead. Maybe I'm wrong, but no, Patriots come and get a touchdown, 17-7. Patriots not off to a great start. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. 24-7. Colts blowing them out. 31-14. Patriots can't keep up. 31-17. Colts are a scoring machine right now. 38-17. Okay. I'll admit I was wrong. It ended up being 38-24. Maybe if this was last year, they would have picked the Patriots to go far. Because last year, when I did a couple simulations, Madden always picked the Patriots to win the whole thing. Every time I did a simulation like this. But this time, nope. The Colts are the better team, and they defeat the Patriots. What was it, 38-24, I believe? It was more of a blowout than that in all reality. But the final game for the AFC side before going over to the NFC is the Bills versus the Jets. An AFC East showdown in the final AFC game of the first round. If the Jets somehow win this game, I won't even know what to think. The Bills are so much better of a team than the Jets. But somehow the Jets do find their way to win games against good teams. I don't know how they do it. They sometimes are able to do it, though. So, yeah, let's see who ends up winning this game. Like I said, I would be shocked if it's the Jets. But Madden works in mysterious ways, so let's just send it to the end of the game. Let's see who gets the first score. So far, no one. Jets get the first score, of course. But Bills come back to tie the game 7-7. Can they pull away? It's 14-7. Jets now only down 14-10, 14-13 at half. Jets are keeping it way too close for comfort for Bills fans. Bills up 21-13. Now they're up 24-13. Cushioning the gap. It's 24-16, 31-16. 38-16, the Bills end up blowing the Jets out of the water, just like they should have. Adam Gase, yeah, you're fired. Have fun with whatever job you do or don't have. Most likely don't have, but you'll probably be on the Patriots, because why not? Yeah, so another real-life playoff matchup against the Bills and Colts will be in the next round. So, now on to the NFC, but first I will show an updated bracket look. The only upsets we got were the Raiders beating the Dolphins and the Bengals beating the Titans. And there's 2 actual playoff matchups between the Steelers and the Browns and the Bills and the Colts. So yeah, now on to the NFC side, with the first one being the Packers and the Falcons. This is the 1-16 seed. Packers, obviously the 1 seed. Falcons are the 16 seed. Packers are one of the best teams in the NFL. I really hope Madden picks them to win, but I would not be shocked if for some reason the 16 seed Falcons knock off the 1 seeded Packers. Let's see what happens. Let's sim ahead to the end of the game. All right, Packers on the board first with a field goal. Falcons can't do anything. Now they get a field goal. They tie the game. Packers take a 7-point lead, 10-3. Now we're tied 10-10. Going to halftime, it is a 17-10 game. Falcons tie the game. This is too close for comfort for the Packers. 17-17. Falcons can take the lead out. Falcons are in the lead. 24-20. Green Bay, are they going to choke? They get a touchdown. It's 27-24. And they barely hold on to win the game. Whoa. Just like the Chiefs and Jaguars game, that was a close one. This one was even closer, 24-27. The Packers didn't do it pretty, but they move on to the next round and knock out the 16-seeded Falcons. The next matchup is the 8-seeded Cardinals versus the 9th-seeded Vikings. So the Cardinals versus the Vikings. Honestly, Madden can go either way here. I'm not really sure who they're going to predict. I think the Cardinals in real life would be the better team if this was an actual matchup. However, I feel like Madden's going to pick the Vikings. I don't know why. Let's just go ahead and sim to the end of the game and see what happens. All right, who's going to get on the board first? So far, no one. Vikings on the board first with a field goal. We're in the second quarter. Cardinals take the lead 7-3. Very defensive game so far. Vikings, now it's 14-6. Cardinals have the lead after halftime. Vikings have not been able to score a touchdown yet. Cardinals increase their lead 17-6. Vikings, all they've done is kick the field goal. They were still in the game until they're still in the game. It's 24-16. But the Cardinals hold on. They really had control of the whole game. The Vikings, got a touchdown there late. Other than that, they really didn't do much. The Cardinals were in control of the whole game, and they move on to face the Packers in the next round. The Buccaneers versus Cowboys. The Buccaneers are clearly the better team, and they should win this simulation. I remember last year, I think I did this simulation for fun, or a simulation that involved the Cowboys. I remember the Madden had them going really far, or had them doing really good in a simulation I just did for fun. So I wouldn't be shocked if Dallas wins. However, Buccaneers are the better team. They should win this simulation relatively easy, especially since the Cowboys don't have Andy Dalton. Let's go ahead and sim to the end of the game. So far no score. Buccaneers on the board first. Now we're tied 7-7. Buccaneers now take a 14-7 lead. Now they're up 21-7. Oh, they're laying it on them. Yeah, screw the Cowboys, says Madden. All right, I respect your decision, Madden. 35-10. I mean, take the starters out. 35-17. Can the Cowboys make it look close? They do make it look a little bit closer. However, the game was never close. The Buccaneers probably took out their starters. Rest them for a next week matchup. And they win the game 35-24. It definitely was not that close, but hey, Cowboys try to make it close there at the end. They're either going to play the Washington football team or the Carolina Panthers in the next round. Let's see who wins that game. So the Washington football team versus the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, the only reason why the Washington football team is the 4th seed is because they won their division. I just decided to give the division winners the top 4 seeds just because I think that's an advantage they would have in a playoff situation like this. If they didn't have that and just went by record, they would probably be, I think, the 9th seed. So, yeah, there's definitely a way bigger advantage for the Washington football team. These two teams have very similar overalls, so I wouldn't be shocked if it goes either way. But I guess let's just see what happens. And the AFC, the 13th seed did win, so you never know. Will it happen again? Washington football team on top first. They're up 14-0. Man, in my Madden playoff simulation, they were a really good team, and they are laying it on the Panthers. No mercy. Panthers, okay, they're only down by 2 scores, and now they're not. 31-14. Washington football team, absolutely. They avenged their regular season loss. Remember, they lost to the Panthers in the regular season when Dwayne Haskins started the game. And this time, 14-31. No upset here. Washington football team moves on to face the Buccaneers in an actual playoff matchup. The next game is the Rams versus the Giants. So Rams versus Giants. The Giants were 1 game out of just missing the playoffs. If only the Eagles actually tried to beat the Washington football team. in the final game of the regular season. They may have been in the playoffs. Instead, they are the 11th seed facing the 6th seed Los Angeles Rams. You know, I would say the Rams probably win this game in simulation. However, we have not seen an upset since way early on in this video when the Bengals beat the Titans. So I have a feeling that the New York Giants may be able to pull this one out. I just have a feeling we're finally going to get an upset. Let's send to the end of the game. Who scores first? Who gets on the board first? So far, no score. Very defensive. Giants on the board first, 3-0. We're in the second quarter. That's all we've got is a field goal. Going into halftime, Giants have up 6-0. Can the Rams do something offensively? No, the Giants are up 9-0. Now it's 9-3. And I think my prediction might come true. It's 17-10, 24-10. I had a feeling that we were finally going to get an upset, and here we are. The Los Angeles Rams could do nothing offensively, and the New York Giants move on to the next round, and they win 24-10. They will face the winner of the Seahawks and Lions game. Let's see who wins that game. I am a Lions fan, so I honestly hope the Lions win this simulation. However, I don't have high hopes for them. If you didn't see my Madden 21 predicts the 2020-2021 playoffs that I uploaded on IT Predicts, you probably didn't see that. Yeah, Madden had the Seahawks doing really well. I won't spoil it, but they had the Seahawks doing really well in that video. So I would not be shocked to see the Seahawks take home this win. The Lions also aren't that great of a team, but let's just think on the game. Maybe the Lions could pull something out of nowhere and win the game. Lions up 3-0 early on. They're up 6-0 early on. Come on, Lions. It's 9-0, 3 field goals, man. This is what the Lions do in real life. They can't turn into touchdowns. However, their defense is coming to play. It is 9-7, 16-7. Lions, I like what I'm saying. We could have a Giants versus Lions matchup might be coming. Can the Lions hold on? They might lie down like they always do. Oh no, 28-23. Can they hold on? They do. Wow, the Seahawks, just like in real life, choke in the first round of the playoffs, of the 32-round playoffs, and Matthew Stafford and the Lions have finally won a big game when it matters. If only this was real life. It isn't. I mean, for a second there, they almost lied down like they do every single week. They almost blew a lead. Seahawks took the lead at one point, but Lions hold on. And a matchup in the next round of the playoffs is going to be the 11th seeded Giants hosting the 14 Lions. That's an interesting one. But yeah, we have 2 more games left in the opening round. The next one is the Bears versus the 49ers. Bears are not that good of a team. They are the 7th seed because they somehow made the playoffs. I still don't know how. 49ers apparently are going to have Jimmy Garoppolo. Can't edit the depth chart because I'm not using either team, so that's great. At least they fixed the whole Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles thing. Last time I did a simulation, it just kept playing Nick Foles instead of Mitch Trubisky, which didn't make sense. But I guess Jimmy G decided that he no longer is injured and actually wants to play a meaningful game. Let's just say that. Let's just say he wasn't actually injured at the end of the season and could have came back to play a meaningful game. We'll go with that storyline. Let's just send it to the end of the game and just see what happens. Bears get an early touchdown, 7-0. Now they're up 10-0. 49ers with a field goal, 10-3. Bears controlling this game. They are up 24-5 going into halftime. Now 24-8. 31-8. 49ers are still in it for a second. They're still kind of in it. Can they make a comeback? No, it doesn't look like it. 34-23. Will we get another score? By the Bears, we do. 37-23. The Bears hold off the 49ers, who were trying to make a comeback, I think. So even the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo still couldn't get the job done. The Bears move on to the next round. That is 3 NFC North teams winning in the first round. So Saints versus Eagles. This is a matchup the Eagles actually won in the regular season. So who knows? Maybe Jalen Hurts can pull out some magic and possibly get the game. You know, I don't know. I would expect the Saints to probably win this game. They are the better team. You just never know. I mean, so far the NFC East has actually done pretty well, besides the Cowboys. They're the exception, but Washington and the Giants both won, so the Eagles are trying to make it 3 NFC East teams moving on to the next round, and then who'll be laughing at the NFC East now, if you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying. Let's just sim to the end of the game. I need to stop rambling on. All right.
Saints up 7-0, 14-0 quickly. That was a quick 14 points there. Now it's 14-7, 17-7. Saints have the lead by 10. Eagles close the gap, 17-14 after halftime. Eagles are still in the game. It's only a 10-point game. And now the Saints are starting to pull away. It's 31-17, 31-24. Hold on a minute. We are tied. We're in overtime. Eagles can make a comeback. 31-31. Saints kick the game-winning field goal. Wow. Saints almost blew a 17-point lead. They did. They almost blew a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. And the Saints, in overtime, barely survive against the Philadelphia Eagles. I thought for a second it was going to go into a tie. But nope, the Saints get the win 31-34, and they move on to face the Bears in the next round, which is an actual playoff matchup that actually did happen. All right, so that concludes the first round of the NFL March Madness NFL tournament, or whatever I called it. I'll show an updated bracket right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the AFC first, just like I did the last time. And the first matchup is the Chiefs versus the Raiders. This should be an interesting one. Let's see what happens. So as I said, the matchup is the Chiefs versus the Raiders. The Raiders played the Chiefs really good in the regular season. They were really the only team who beat the Chiefs so far that was actually at full strength. I don't count the Chargers loss they had because, well, they weren't playing them at full strength. The Chiefs just rested a bunch of people. But the Raiders were the only team that actually beat the Chiefs when they still had all their starters. And they nearly beat them twice, too, if it wasn't for some Patrick Mahomes and magic in the last minute or whatever they had. So I would not be shocked if the Raiders win this game. Let's just send to the end of the game. The Chiefs had a very close one against the Jaguars in the first round. Raiders up early, 3-0. They're trying to pull off a big upset here. Raiders up 10-0. Chiefs have done nothing offensively with Patrick Mahomes. It is 10-0. Raiders up 17-0. The only team that knows how to beat the Chiefs, and it's showing 20-3, 27-3. Now it's 27-11, and the Raiders pull off a magical upset over the Kansas City Chiefs and knocks them out. I'm telling you, the Raiders is the only team that knows how to beat the Chiefs. I don't know how they do. They just do. And the Raiders upset the Chiefs to move on to the next round to face the winner of the Ravens versus the Bengals. Let's see what happens in that game. So the Bengals were really the only team that pulled off an upset in the first round that was on the AFC. They're looking to keep their magical run with Brandon Allen going against the Ravens. I expect probably the Ravens to win this simulation. However, for the Ravens, if they win this game, they would be able to actually host the Raiders in the next round. If the Bengals win, then the Raiders, a 9 seed, host a game in the quarterfinals. That would be interesting. Let's go ahead and send to the end of the game to see what happens and who will the Raiders face. Who gets on the board first? It looks like it's going to be the Ravens with a field goal. They're up 3-0. No double doink there. Or no doink on the field goal for Justin Tucker. That's a playoff reference. It's 9-7 in halftime. The Ravens have only kicked field goals. The Bengals have a touchdown. Now the Ravens get on the board with a touchdown at 16-7. Now they're starting to pull away. They're up 31-7. The Bengals kept it close, but at the end of the game, the Ravens were just too much for this Bengals team, who was somehow able to beat the Titans. And the Ravens win 31-13. They move on to face the Raiders in the next round. The next matchup is an actual playoff game that happened in real life. The Steelers versus the Browns. So obviously in real life, the Browns spanked the Steelers in the playoffs. I wouldn't be shocked if that happens again in the simulation. Maybe not a blowout like the playoff game was, but who knows? Madden will probably pick the Steelers and just be completely wrong. They should pick the Browns, seeing how the Browns won in real life, but it's Madden. You can never trust them to do anything right. Let's go ahead and sim to the end of the game. Who will get the ball? Who will score first, actually? Steelers do. They're up 7-0. Now Browns tie the game. We are tied 7-7. Browns take a 14-7 lead. Now they're up 21-7 after halftime. Steelers make it a little closer, 21-17. Now Browns up 28-17 over the Steelers. 31-24, now it's 34-24. Steelers get it within 3, but cannot come back. The Browns close out the game in a much closer game than in real life. But however, Madden still predicted the right winner. Browns move on and win 34-31 over the Steelers and will face the winner of the Colts and the Bills game, which was also an actual playoff game. So Bills versus Colts, like I said, this was an actual playoff matchup that the Bills barely won. They only won by 3 over the Colts. I think Madden's going to pick the Bills to win this game. It only makes sense seeing how the Bills did win. I think also the Bills are the better team. They have the better overall. It all makes sense for Madden to predict the Bills to win this game. So expect a Colts victory because Madden, like I said, makes no sense. But they have made sense actually in the simulation, besides a couple games. But anyways, Bills on the board first 3-0. Now the Colts up 7-3. Now Colts are up 14-3. What did I say? Never leave Madden to make some decisions because they usually don't make good ones. Colts are up 17-3. Can Bills get something going? They only get a field goal. They get another field goal, but they're within a touchdown. Another field goal for the Bills. Now they're in the lead all of a sudden. Holy crap, out of nowhere, the Bills win the game. Whoa. I was just watching. It was just field goal after field goal after field goal. And then all of a sudden the Bills score a touchdown and then another field goal, and all of a sudden they win the game. Why did they kick like 5 field goals? They kicked 5 field goals and a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. That's how the Bills did it. Wow. I mean, they literally stole the game out of nowhere. The Colts had control the entire time, and then all of a sudden the Bills win the game. That might be one of the more stranger simulations we've seen. However, Madden did predict the rightful winner. I don't know what happened to the Colts there at the end of the game. They just did nothing, and the Bills scored 17 points in the fourth quarter to win the game. They move on to the next round to face the Browns. Now over to the NFC side. And that matchup will be the Packers versus the Cardinals. Let's see if the Packers can actually win this game as a 1 seed. Or, just like in the AFC, will we get another upset? So I already talked about pretty much the Packers and the Cardinals in the matchup. We'll just see if the Packers are able to avoid an upset. Let's go ahead and sim to the end of the game. Packers up for early 7-0. Remember, they barely beat the Falcons in the first round. The Packers did. They're up 14-7. This game looks close as well. It's going to be it's 14-14. Packers now lead 17-14. We're past halftime. Cardinals now tied. Now Packers up by a touchdown, 24-17, 24-20, and Cardinals are in the lead. Packers need to score. They tie. The game is 27. Now it's 30-27. I can barely keep up. Packers score the game-winning touchdown though. And back-to-back close games for the Packers. They move on to the Elite Eight in the quarterfinals and will play the winner of the Buccaneers and Washington game. Packers are cutting these games way too close. But Aaron Rodgers just proves why he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. He can win the close games. And obviously the Falcons can't win close games. That's how they lost the other game. And apparently the Cardinals couldn't win the close game either. And yeah, on to the next game. So for the Washington football team versus the Buccaneers, this was a real-life playoff matchup game. It's going to have Alex Smith be the starting quarterback. Sorry, I can't change it. Like I said, depth chart. I'm not on either team, so can't change the depth chart. Buccaneers do have a better record by several games. However, Washington, because they won their division, is the 4th seed, and the Buccaneers is the 5th seed. You know, just like real life. The same thing in this simulation as well. Let's go ahead and sim to the end of the game. I think they're going to predict the Buccaneers to win this game, but I don't really know because for some reason Madden really likes picking the Washington football team to win some games. So I wouldn't be shocked if it goes either way. Even though the Buccaneers are the better team. Now it's tied 3-3. Buccaneers take a 10-3 lead. Washington football team get a safety. It's 10-5. Still no score. Now it's 17-5. Can Washington does get a score before the half's over. 24-12. Washington needs something on the board, but they can't get anything. 27-19. They're still in it. Now it doesn't look like they are. And Buccaneers pull away and win 41-19. And Washington had it close there for a second. But the Buccaneers, just being the better team, pull away and win the game and will face the Packers in the next round. And that is, in the Packers versus Buccaneers, is actually the NFC Championship matchup. And they're going to face a round earlier, which is a little interesting. All right. Yeah, the next one is probably the game I'm most looking forward to the simulation. The Giants versus the Lions. We are guaranteed to have a double-digit seed in the next round. Let's see who wins that game. One of these two teams are about to cement themselves as the Cinderella story of the March Madness NFL tournament in a Madden simulation. That's a long title. Yeah, one of these two teams is going to get it because we're only going to have one double-digit seed in the final round. It's going to be either the Giants or the Lions. The Giants host the game because they are the 11th seed over the Lions' 14th seed. The reason why the two teams are playing each other is because, well, Giants beat the 6th-seeded Rams and the Lions beat the 3rd-seeded Seahawks, and that was a matchup that was supposed to happen, the 3 and 6. You know, it's just like a March Madness tournament. So not like in real life where the 1 seed plays the lower seed. No, we're not doing any of that. And we're doing an actual March Madness style. But anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's just see who wins this game. Giants versus Lions. As a Lions fan, I'm rooting for the Lions. But my hopes are low because the Lions usually don't win that many games. All right, so Lions on the board first. That's up. They're up 10-0. Giants are on the board 10-3. Now we're tied 10-10. Now Giants take a 17-10 lead. Lions blowing leads like they always do, but they're now tied again 17-17. Now Giants up 20-17. Lions need to get something on the board. No one scoring here in the third quarter. Now in the fourth quarter, now Giants are pulling ahead. It's 29-24. Can Stafford lead a fourth quarter comeback? He might. It's 32-29, and he does. Stafford is proving why he is an underrated quarterback and upsets the New York Giants to move on to the Elite Eight, 32-29, another fourth quarter comeback from the Lions. The last round, it was just the Lions surviving over the Seahawks. This time, the Lions have to pull out their magic. There's two sides to the Lions franchise. In case you don't watch them, I watch them every week. They play. They either blow fourth quarter leads or they make comebacks to win the game. And that's what they did. They win 32-29, and they will face the winner of the Bears and Saints game, which is the final round, which is the final game of the Sweet 16. Let's see who wins that game. This is the fourth matchup in this round that it was an actual playoff matchup. The Saints versus the Bears. In real life, the Saints won this game pretty easily. The Bears, kept it close for 3 quarters, but never could really score a touchdown until the final play of the game where they actually scored a touchdown. I would expect the Saints to win the simulation. As a Lions fan, I hope the Bears win the simulation because that'll be a lot easier to beat than the Saints are. The Saints would be, but let's just go ahead and sim the end of the game and let's just see what happens. All right, Bears score the early touchdown. They're up 7. Now Bears up 14-7. Can barely keep up. Now Bears up 21-7. Now it's 21-14. Saints, are they going to choke another playoff game? They might. They're down 28-17, but now it's 28-25. Bears pull ahead 35-25 going into the fourth quarter. Saints close the gap 35-32, looking to make a comeback. Can they make a comeback? They will not. And once again, the Saints just find more and more ways to choke games. And Madden got this matchup wrong because in real life the Saints won it. But hey, I guess Madden thinks that the Saints are just going to blow another game. I don't blame Madden for that. They're just used to seeing the Saints just blow playoff games. It happens all the time. The Saints can't find a way to win playoff games, and here they are again, losing a playoff game to the Bears. That means in the next round, in the Elite Eight, it's going to be an NFC North matchup, Bears versus Lions. And if you haven't been keeping track, that is 3 NFC North teams in the next round, in the Elite Eight. So very well, we could have an NFC North, NFC Championship game. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show the updated Elite Eight bracket. We have 1 double-digit seed. And for teams that didn't actually make the playoffs that are still in this tournament, that would be the Lions and the Raiders. They are the two could call Cinderella stories, but really the Lions are the true Cinderella story. A 14 seed who beat a 3-seeded Seahawks and then beat the 11-seeded Giants. Not only have to play the Bears in the next round, which matchup that Lions fans like me would have loved to see if this was actually real. The first matchup in the AFC side for the Elite Eight is the Raiders versus the Ravens. So the Ravens versus the Raiders. The Raiders here because they were able to knock off the Chiefs. And as for Ravens, that would probably excite them because I know they would rather play the Raiders than the Chiefs. I don't know. I think Madden might actually pick the Raiders to win this game. Remember, this is for a spot in the AFC Championship game. Let's go ahead and just see who Madden picks. I'm not going to pick a winner because I honestly don't know who Madden's going to pick. Let's just see who Madden picks. Ravens up early 7-0. Now the Raiders tie the game 7-7. Ravens up 14-7. Now they're up 21-7. And I guess the Raiders just don't know how to beat any team other than the Chiefs in important games. That's what I'm seeing here. But now the 21-14, Raiders actually keeping it close, but Ravens pull ahead 24-14 and move on into the AFC Championship game, knocking off the Raiders. They will play the winner of the Bills and Browns game. So these are two teams that actually made it into this round of the playoffs in real life. They just didn't play each other because, the Browns, 6 seeded, played the higher seed Chiefs or whatever. That's just how it worked. In March Madness, there's no higher seed plays lower seed, whatever, all that stuff. It just goes in the order of the bracket. So that means the Bills and Browns play each other. I honestly don't know who Madden's going to pick to win this game. I could see it going either way. I probably think I might go the Browns because I feel like Madden really does like the Browns for some reason. So let's go and sim them the game though and just see what happens. Bills up early, 7-0. Now Browns tie the game, but now it's 10-7. Still 10-7. Now Bills up 17-7. They went a while there without scoring, but now Bills blowing them out of the water. Never mind my prediction about Madden loving the Browns. That's not true. It is 38-10. And the Bills, who barely beat the Colts in the last round, put out their anger on the Cleveland Browns and blow them out of the water 38-10. And they will face the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game, which was actually a real-life playoff game that took place in this round of the playoffs that we're currently in the simulation for. So that's interesting. And obviously the Bills won that in real life, so we'll have to see who Madden predicts to win that game. However, we still have a couple more games to simulate over on the NFC. The first one is the Packers versus Buccaneers. So like I've already said a couple times, the Packers versus Buccaneers is going to be the real-life NFC Championship game, but in this Madden simulation, it is in the Elite Eight, which also would, I guess, technically be the Divisional Round, I guess, is technically what this term would be. I've just been calling it Elite Eight because this is a larger Madden simulation. Packers have played a lot of close games in the simulation so far, and the Buccaneers just blew out the Washington football team. And in real life, in the regular season, the Buccaneers blew out the Packers. So I would not be shocked for Madden to predict the Buccaneers to win this game. However, I think they're going to predict the Packers to win this game. And in real life, I think the Packers would actually win this game. But yeah, let's just sim to the end of the game. Who's going to win this all-important game? Packers up 7-0. Tampa Bay ties the game 7-7. Now it's 10-7. Tampa, can they take the lead? No. Packers now up by 10. Buccaneers close the gap, and now Packers increase the gap just instantly, 24-14. So far, no offense in this third quarter, but now Packers increase their lead, 31-14. Now the Buccaneers close the gap, and now the Packers increase it more. Back to 10-point game. Now it's a 13 game. Now it's a 6-point game. Buccaneers actually got it close there at the end, but Packers really had control the entire game, and they move on to the NFC Championship game, which guarantees no matter who wins the next game, it will be an NFC North matchup in the NFC Championship game, whether it is the Lions or the Bears. And either one of those teams would be the Cinderella story, in my opinion, the Lions or the Bears. But let's go ahead and send that game. I'll tell you, the Lions kind of have to thank a lot of other teams for how they've been able to get here. Because other than the Seahawks in the first round, they've had to play some pretty easy teams. They played the 11th-seeded Giants in the last round, which I guess would be the either Sweet 16 or Wildcard round, however you want to look at it. Now they're in the Elite 8/Divisional round, playing the Chicago Bears, a 7th seed who just knocked off the Saints. So maybe the Bears I'd say the Bears would probably be favored in this game. However, in the regular season, they did split 1-1. And I would say, like, both the games that they played, the other team should have won, if you know what I mean. Like, when the week one when they played, the Bears won, Lions should have won that game. Then the most recent time they played, the Lions won, Bears should have won that game because the Bears played better in that week and then the Lions. Yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling on about stuff. I hope you understood what I just said. But anyway, it really doesn't matter. Let's just send it to the end of the game. I don't know why I keep rambling. Yeah. Lions on the board early, 7-0. Man, Lions are somehow able to win these big games in this Madden simulation. It's still 7-7, though. Chicago's defense definitely came to play in this game. Bears take a 14-7 halftime lead. Now we're tied 14-14. Bears up 21-14. Can the Cinderella story keep going for the Lions? It doesn't look like it. 31-21. Can Stafford lead a comeback? Maybe, no. barely, almost was able to lead a comeback. Matt Patricia, you're fired. You should not even be here anymore. Stafford almost led a fourth quarter comeback. However, 17 points was just too much for the Lions this time, and they lose 31-28. The Cinderella story for the Detroit Lions ends in the Elite Eight as the Chicago Bears move on to the NFC Championship game and the Final Four to face a familiar foe, the Green Bay Packers. So once again, here's the updated look at the bracket after the Elite Eight / Divisional round of the playoffs. We are now at the Conference Championship games. Ravens, Bills, Packers, Bears. So the first game we're simulating is the Bills and Ravens. So the Bills versus Ravens, which was a real-life Divisional round matchup in the playoffs, is now the AFC Championship game in this Madden March Madness tournament. Real life, obviously the Bills was able to shut down the Ravens really well on defense. It was 17-3, and missed field goals and the pick six by Lamar Jackson and the Lamar Jackson concussion just hurt the Ravens. They just could not really do anything offensively, and the Bills didn't have to do much offensively either. Their defense really helped them a lot there. But yeah, let's just send to the end of the game and see who will be moving on to the Super Bowl of the NFL March Madness tournament. So Ravens on the board early, 3-0. Bills now take a 7-3 lead. Now they're up 14-3. Ravens come back 14-10. Now they're in the lead, 17-14. Can Bills have an answer? 21-17 after halftime. So far, no score in the third quarter. We're not going to score in the third quarter, but now Bills up by 11. Wow, it's going so fast, can barely keep up. Now it's 31-28, and Bills hold on. The Ravens could not make a comeback late. They were able to get a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but that was about it. As the Bills move on to the Super Bowl to face the winner of the Packers and Bears game in the NFC Divisional round. So the Bears are really the new Cinderella story somehow. This team, who really has been up and down all year long, is in the NFC Divisional round in this March Madness NFL tournament, the Final Four. They knocked off the Lions in the past round, so now they're facing another NFC North opponent. The Packers have played games close in this simulation, only winning by 3 points over the Falcons. They only won by 4 over the Cardinals, and they only won by 6 over the Buccaneers. So I would expect this to also be a one-score game. And the Bears, they were able to knock off the Saints, really the only good team they've beaten so far to get here. So I would expect the Packers probably to win this game, but who knows? Let's send the other game, and we'll find out here in a minute. Packers up early, 7-0. Can the Bears get on the board? Yes, they do with a field goal at 7-3, but Packers increase their lead. Now they're blowing out the Bears, 21-3. Packers say, screw playing close games. We are going to blow out our arch rivals, 37-3. Now it's 37-10. And the Packers look like they are well on their way to a Super Bowl matchup, and they are, facing the Buffalo Bills as the Packers blow out the Bears 44-17. And according to Madden, in this March Madness NFL tournament, it will be the 2-seeded Bills versus the 1-seeded Packers in the Super Bowl. So after all of the simulated games, in all 32 teams being in a playoff tournament, Madden has determined that if that were a playoff format, it would be the Packers and Bills in the final game for the Super Bowl. And in real life, I don't know when we get this video out, but in real life, this matchup could really happen. It is actually very likely this matchup does happen, as both teams are still in it on their side of the tournament. Packers are still in it on the NFC, and the Bills are still in it on the AFC. And if the Chiefs don't have Patrick Mahomes for that AFC Championship game, the Bills might actually make it to the Super Bowl. So, this matchup could very well happen, and it actually does show that in a 32-team format, the best teams still make it to the end, maybe the exception of the Chiefs. But the best teams still make it here to the Super Bowl. And if these two teams are actually in the Super Bowl, then I think it does show that a 32-team format, which would never happen in real life, but could actually work. That's just what I'm saying. It could actually work, seeing how it is still showing the best teams still make it to the end. They just gotta play more games. Obviously, in real life, that would never happen. But Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling like I've done all video, and I'm just going to sim to the end of the game, and we're going to see who Madden thinks is going to win the March Madness NFL Tournament. Let's see what happens. Alright, Bills up 3-0 in the Super Bowl. Now they're up 6-0. Packers defense doing good. Now Packers up 7-6. Now they're up 14-6 over the Buffalo Bills. Bills have only been able to kick field goals, and the Packers have taken advantage of that. They're up 20-9. Buffalo still within one score. That was 20-12. Now Packers pull ahead. It's 27-12, and it looks like they're going to hold on. They will. The Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl 30-12 in a March Madness NFL tournament. After all the simulations, all the close games the Packers played. Remember, they only won by 3 over the Falcons in the first round. The Green Bay Packers win this simulation. It's incredible. I mean, it is. It shows that, in my opinion, the Green Bay Packers are the best team in the NFL. And even in a 32-team tournament, you still get the best team winning. And, obviously this is just a Madden simulation, but even Madden predicted who I think are probably the 2 best teams in the NFL to make it here to the end, the Bills and the Packers. Impressive. So after all the simulations, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. It's probably going to be a long one. Definitely this is something different, something I've never done on this channel. If you like it, let me know. I guess I could see by how many views this gets if you guys did like it or not. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. A small YouTuber like me could really use the subscribers, the views and the likes, and even the comments too. They all mean a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a long one. If I rambled on, a lot about something, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm doing it right now. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see y'all later. Peace.